Hi, good evening, everyone. Thank you for spending your precious evening with us tonight. Tonight is Piccadilly's Grand's consumer webinar. Okay, so I believe you have a lot of questions. Okay, why buy Piccadilly? Why this product? Why not other developments? Okay, so tonight I will address as much of all this for you to understand why Piccadilly Grand is a perfect investment development. So of course, tonight what I'm going to share with you is the market outlook and the latest research data, understanding the master plan for acceleration, growth, and expansion, identifying the future upside opportunities of the transformation, analyzing statistics and CMA to determine your entry and exit strategy of this particular development itself. So the secrets to push your wealth further and fairer. So of course, we have this disclaimer to tell you that actually we Huttons, okay, has spent a lot of effort to generate all this data to provide you as true the information as possible. As you know, Huttons has a huge wealth of experience, is one of the pioneers in project marketing in this industry. Okay, so therefore, most of the developments in Singapore are actually marketed by Huttons in the past. For you, we will always do our best to provide you the best service and at the same time the best information so that every of your purchase will actually be a sound investment. Okay, for myself, my name is Cheong. Thank you for spending an evening with me. I'm about 19 years in the industry. My primary focus is actually in the central area. So, of course, if you know me, you have seen me before, I provide you with a lot of research data, okay, which actually help a lot of customers in the past make a lot of money. So today's topic, okay, I'll be talking about the assurances of buying, the location, the market analysis, the rarity, okay, then of course the upcoming transformation, the HDB trend and pricing, the future plans in District 8, the exit strategy, about the development, analyzing through the floor plans, comparable analysis, rental estimates, the summary of the developments, and of course, most importantly, the show flag and tentage flow. So of course, what are the assurances of buying Piccadilly Grand? This is the most common question among everybody. So what I want to share with you is that this particular development is actually from this A team. What is this A team? The A team is not just developed by any developer and not just by any branded developer. It's from developers who has developed the most number of developments in Singapore and from developers which has the most number of units sold on launch day. So who are the developers? Of course, you can see here, City Developments Group. Okay, City Developments Limited. Many developments in Singapore, okay, the biggest developer. And out of them, what I've showcased over here, you will have seen that all their developments are almost either fully sold or they're close to sell out. Like example, Sengkang Grand is already 98% sold. It's an integrated development in Buangkok area. So you know this particular development has a huge wow factor. And then of course, just recently, okay, you will see Canning Hill Piers in November last year. You have heard from the papers, right? 82% sold in just one day on preview launch day. Today is about 87% sold. And you know that this particular development is marketing about 3,000 plus per square foot, and yet you can obtain 82% sold. So this developer itself has this strong track record. Of course, we also have another development called OLP Residences. Okay, another outstanding sales result, 72% sold on launch day. Today is about 79% sold. And then there's another luxury development called Novel 18, 81% sold today. So this is one of the developers which has created Piccadilly Grand. But who is their joint venture developer? So you will see this, MCL Land. MCL Land, you will know, again, most of the developments are 100% sold. Okay, the most famous of it all is this Park Esta. Okay, so you see Park Esta in Eunos area, fantastic development, right? 100% sold today. Same thing for other developments like example, Leiden Green, Margaret View. Okay, they are so very outstanding developments by MCL Group. And of course, I want to highlight to you this particular development, J Gateway. J Gateway, you know, sold marketing by Huttons, one day sell out. So it has transformed the whole Jurong area from this particular development. So you have this first collaboration between these two developers, MCL and CDL, And why did they choose this particular location? Two big boys. Right? When they choose this particular location, it only tells you one thing. If they have strong confidence in this location, you as the buyer, you will also have the maximum potential. So of course, not just by the developers alone, which will create the effect of the development. The architect firm is a very important factor too. So again, not just any branded developer, but from this branded architect, which has collaborated with one of the world's most famous architects, an architect firm, which has one of the most beautiful facades and layouts in Singapore. So who is this architect firm? ADDP. Okay, you see some of their most beautiful works, like example, Martin Modern, and of course, New Futura. Even Canning Hill Piers and Irwell Hill Residences is also by ADDP. So of course, ultimate convenience is something not every other owner or buyer actually gets. Okay? It's the starting point and ending point of your daily lifestyle. So location, location, location is always the keyword every analyst will tell you in today's market, right? So imagine you starting your day and ending your day with such convenience. So you can see where we are located, and these are all the key central area destinations which Piccadilly Grand is near to. So of course you have Bugis, Suntec, Marina Bay, City Hall, Esplanade, Fort Canning. All these developments, all these key locations are just near to Piccadilly Grand. If you look at this map itself, it will tell you within a 500-meter radius, there's so many key locations which are actually just within walking distance from our site itself, right? So of course, what makes it very special is also the MRT station, right? Because we are not just another development which is near to an MRT. This particular development of Piccadilly Grand is directly connected to this MRT station called Farrer Park MRT. And you know Farrer Park MRT, if you're directly connected to it, you are not just connected to the MRT, but you're also connected to the connection, the medical suites, and you're connected all the way down to City Square Shopping Mall. Okay? And this is a very major shopping mall by CDL, correct? So this particular development itself, it's something which not many other developments are able to offer. Okay. So today I will address with you, okay, the 4 common questions. Is this the right time to buy? The interest rate has went up recently. There's a war ongoing. There's a new cooling measure which was implemented as a Christmas gift for us. So is this the right time to buy? If you take a look at the market analysis, okay, if you look at market analysis itself, it will tell you year-on-year comparison, you will see that the market are about 12.3% higher than the previous peak, as based on the chart over here. You also note that if you've seen all the different crises in the global crisis, you realize that in every drop in the market, okay, the rebound is way higher than the drop. Like example, you see from the 2000, of course, we know this is a SARS and the dot-com crisis, right? You see the market rebounded to 58%. Okay, then of course, you come to this Asian financial crisis, you look at the drop, and then you see the rebound is about 62%. So every single drop actually creates even a higher rebound, and it causes the market to increase to today. So what about interest rate increasing? These are just charts to show you the SIBOR and the SORA. If you take a look at the SIBOR and the SORA, you realize that the blue line, which is the URA index, is like very independent on its own. Okay, so here we will analyze that if you see, even though the SIBOR and the SORA has increased or decreased, the URA index is all positive. So it's inconclusive that the interest prices affects property prices. Okay, this is actually more of demand and supply. Being independent is a very good thing. At the same time, does war affect property prices? You realize that from the 9/11 incident, okay, you will see the market, the chart, how it moves, right? Then after it comes to the Iraq war, okay, how it goes. See, it's going up on its own. It's all positive, even our GDP, right? Then even all the way down to the Russian-Ukraine war, it's still going up by this 5.0%, right? So it will only tell you one thing. If you see the chart based on every of the war crisis, you realize that our GDP is very independent. It's a very strong plus point. Okay, even in the 12-month change of property prices. So all these are all to let you know and assure you that regardless of what is happening in the world, property in Singapore is very safe and sound. But what does this war affect? This is one thing for sure, construction costs. This is what is going to affect. And it has already affected. Because here you start to see, wow, steel bar prices went up by 18%. Okay, since the Russian invasion, aluminum and concrete prices went up by, wow, 100% and 10% respectively. These will only tell you one thing. If all these materials have increased in price, it will only affect who? The construction company. And if it affects the construction company, it will in turn affect the developers. And if it affects the developers, the consumers are the one which will be bearing the cost. It's a very similar thing, okay, as petrol prices. Because why? When this war has came, you see petrol prices has gone up, and you consumer, you drivers have to pay the petrol. Because why? Life still goes on. Right? So what about the impact of profits after cooling measure? Okay, you realize from this chart itself, cooling measures have not stopped the increase of property prices. In fact, it has gone up very high. Okay, firstly, it's about 149.7, jump up to about 173.6. So it's about 16% increase before and after. It will also tell you the impact of ABSD is also very temporary. You see this slight drop over here. If you calculate the time frame of the drop, you realize that it's a 6 months window period. Why is there 6 months? Because of course, every cooling measure, a lot of people will start to think, hey, am I the only one going to buy? Other people, will they be buying? So this period of time is usually the adaptation period of the cooling measure. But then again, after that, you realize that the prices will continue to soar upwards. Okay. So now, if you see the cooling measure, when the new cooling measure came in, it was actually a Christmas present for us, right, in December. Today is about April, so it's really 4 months. But then again, these 4 months will be the maximum, what we feel that is the window period for this year. Because why? Major launches are starting to take place during this period of time. And when these major launches start to take place, what will it tell you? Later, from later articles, you will understand better. So you will see developments during and after the cooling measure. You see, you remember the last 3 developments which came up, past midnight, came on the news, okay, over the rushing after 12 midnight due to the cooling measure. Everybody rushed in to buy. So you see, after buying in the cooling measure, right? These are all purchases after the cooling measure has taken place. You realize that every single one of them, the profit rate has went up. Why the profit is actually higher? Because when usually this window period comes in, developers always come up with promotions for you to actually go in, entice you to buy. And these promotions are very short-lived. If you are wise enough to come in, yes, you'll be able to grab all these better prices and all these units to actually enable you to have a higher profit. So Riverfront is one of them. The other development is actually Park Colonial. Again, after the cooling measure, you look at the profit rate, and this one did not really come much of a promotion. You realize the price is still very high. And then of course, the other one will be Sterling Residences. You'll see, wow, huge profits, 349,000 profit. So these are developments after cooling measure. So it doesn't mean after cooling measure I buy, it means I'm going to lose out. No, actually not necessary. It's that what price you're going to buy in and what kind of location you're going to buy in. That will be the crucial price for you. So how was 2021 performance? Okay, 2021 performance, we know there was only about 8,138 units launched in the entire year. But last year was a record year because we sold about 6,290, which in turn is about 76.4%. Sold, just on new launches. So these are all the new launches which were sold. You realize all of them are all high volume. Some of them are almost fully sold today. So this is based on 2021 launches. And in turn, you see, just starting on this first quarter of the year, you realize that the outside of Singapore, look at what happened due to the high take-up rate. The transacted prices all went up into very high. Even you look at this area here, District 12, which is further up at Boon King area, the prices went up to about 2,000 plus per square foot average. Same thing for District 13, 2001, almost 2002 per square foot. So this will tell you that, wow, okay, last year's record high transactions has actually pushed up the property market prices. Okay, so of course, the overall market sales trend, how does it actually work out? You will note that last year was the record, right? But if you take a look at year on year from 2016, you will realize that almost every year, the average transaction is very high. It's almost 8,000 plus 9,000 units transacted in the entire year. Not just based on new launches, but the previous year existing launches. So last year, it hit to about 13,000 over units sold in the entire year, 2021. 13,000. It's a very high figure. It's a record high figure just last year. So if you work backwards, it's about 1,000 units transacted per month last year. Right? But who are the buyers? Wow, how come so many units are sold? Because this is still a pandemic situation, right? So who are the buyers? The buyers are actually the main two HDB upgraders. The HDB upgraders, because they have been selling their resale flat at new and record prices, right? So a lot of them, after they sold off, they become super cash rich. And in turn, you see, they become more than 80% of the buyers. You look at the rates, okay? Here you will see, based on the different profile of nationalities, Singaporeans take up the most, okay? Followed by the PRs, then of course the foreigners. And you realize that during this pandemic, the foreigners are not in yet in this market because they are stuck in their overseas, right? But of course, we know that the market now is moving into the endemic situation, and even most of you are able to travel, right? So if you are able to travel, we expect the foreigners will be coming in soon, and they will add competition to the local buyers. And therefore, the demand, okay, the take-up rate is expected to go up very much higher. So, when you see such high take-up rate, it will only result in one thing, the fast depletion of supply. And if you take a look at this chart itself, you realize that, wow, today, due to the high take-up rate, the number of stock availability is left with 14,333. Entire stock of new developments, new units in the market is a record low. But then again, record low, no? Wow. If we calculate backwards, based on, you know, there's an average about 8,000 to 9,000 units almost every year, right? So we based on this 14,333, we just estimated about 9,000 units to be sold this year. That means all the supply over here will only take about 1.6 years to clear. And if we base on last year estimated take-up rate on about 10,000 units sold for the entire year, it will only take you 1.4 years. What does it tell you? It tells you that there's very limited stock in the market now. If you don't buy now, you may not be able to get an opportunity to buy a brand new launch very soon, right? But you know the depletion of supply is so limited this year, okay? What are the limited launches coming up this year? So we do know that in this year itself, developers are going to launch fewer new developments. Why are they going to launch fewer new developments? Because we do know that, okay, pandemic, due to labor costs, construction costs, all this increasing, and then of course the government came up with a new cooling measure. The major impact party is always the developer. So of course, higher ABSD or this. So they're more cautious. You're not the only one which is cautious in entering the market. They are also very cautious in buying land. Because why? Whatever land you're going to bid for, they also know that to continue as a developer, they have to continue bidding for lands. But the competition of bidding for lands, every developer will be coming in at the same time also. So the competition rate goes up. When the competition rate goes up, then not every developer gets to own that piece of land. And therefore, in turn, they will have fewer launches this year. So what are the launches this year? Just talking about the first half of this year, there are only 3 RCR launches. And of course, the major ones will be Royal Hammock, which has just launched, Piccadilly Grand, which is ours, and the other one will be Leaf at Mountbatten. Okay, so you will see, based on the number of launches and based on the locations, you will see there's only a total of 29 new launches. And if we add up the total number of units, it's only how much? 6,518 units for the entire of this year, to add on to the supply of how much? 14,333. So only 20,000 new units in the entire year. What does it tell you? If 14,000 is going to take about maybe 1.6 to 1.4 years to clear up, 20,000 is not going to add too much more. Okay? So what are the upcoming estimated prices? We know it's limited launches, only 29 for this coming year. Most of them are very small developments, as you saw from the chart earlier. The upcoming developments, estimated prices are, okay, we have seen this market update recently, right? In the papers, it tells you that usually developments which launches in the first half of the year will set pace for the future launches in the whole year. That means as long as a developer or a development were to launch at a particular pricing, the next development itself will be higher and higher. Because why? They set a new benchmark, the next developer will try to launch their development at a higher pricing. Okay, so they will test the market and continue to soar and soar and soar. So of course, Piccadilly Grand is one of the first few new developments to launch this year, and especially in the first half. So that means whatever you're going to buy is going to be very attractive, right? Because the future other new launches which are upcoming are going to be priced way higher than Piccadilly. But where are the other new launches? So you will see our land, okay, Northumberland, okay, our price limit was 1129. So we have seen this other one, Ang Mo Kio, okay, where is it? OCR. You will see Lentor, another OCR, wow, more expensive than our location, Piccadilly Grand, right? And then we've seen Slim Barracks itself, which is also launching. Wow, prices of the land is much higher, 1,002 plus per square foot. So if I were to summarize, you will start to see that based on the land bid itself, our location is one of the more attractive ones. And if you compare with the rest of the locations, most of them are actually much further out as compared to us. And if you take a look at this year's land price, okay, versus previous years, you will start to see actually we have already been raising higher and higher. Why is it much higher? It's because of the land cost. So if all these are the record prices of last year, that means this year is expected to be higher. Because why? The cost, the marketing cost has went up. Construction cost is the main effect of it, right? So we do estimate, okay, what is going to be launched this year? You will see these few other developments, Tanah Merah, Seneca. Land price, you know, 930. The estimated price, we think that it may market is about 1,008, 1,009. But then again, we expect it to change. Because why? They are not going to launch yet. So depending on when they're going to launch, they will always observe what Piccadilly price is going to be marketed at. And then they will try to keep, you know, close to the range because it's a benchmark is set. Okay, of course, we have seen Ang Mo Kio. Ang Mo Kio land price is not much different from us, much further away. So if they see Piccadilly is going to launch at whatever pricing, they will most probably increase. So whatever you see here is just our conservative kind of estimate. Same thing for Lentor. Okay, if Lentor is able to market about 2,002 to 2,003 based on our estimate, okay, if you realize it's about $1,000 per square foot kind of market estimate we are having due to the construction cost today, right? Imagine if Lentor will be marketed at this price. Piccadilly is a central area, a city fringe development, direct connection to MRT. Based on location, are we more superior? Yes. And are they more expensive than us? Yes. So we, actually, Piccadilly Grand, could have actually launched after them. We wait for them to launch first, then we can actually fetch a higher value. But because the developer is CDL and MCL, they choose to launch first, which means they are just telling you, they have a lot of supporters. They do not want to let down their supporters. Okay? They know there are so many developments in Singapore. They want every of their owners to still continue to respect them. And that's why they launch first. So of course, we based on the estimate of other new launches this year. You will see the estimate of maybe Jalan Anak Bukit is going to be about 1,009, 2,000. Okay, this is what Piccadilly we are estimating to be about 2001 to 2002 only, right? And then of course you will know Lift MB is already almost estimated going to be about 2004, 2005 per square foot range. Okay, and then you will see the former Flint Park is going to be about 2003. So as I mentioned, we could have waited for all these launches to come first, and then we can market it at a higher value. But then again, the developer is CDR and MCR. So they decided, I want all buyers, okay, all my supporters to thank me. So therefore, I launch first, I give you a good value, then you will see from the rest of the year, all them all are more expensive. That means you make paper value gains. So rarity, what is rarity? Developments linked to MRT are rare. We always like to tell you, by difference, be unique. We are not just a normal common development. We are integrated development, which means there are lesser competition in future resale and rental market. You are always the first choice for buyers, all right? And you took a look at all these developments directly linked to MRT, it's only less than 1%. Which are the developments? Today you see all these developments. A lot of them, you realize that in the resale market, they are still commanding very, very strong values. And there's still a lot of demand from all buyers, okay? They're always the first choice, unless, of course, the rental price and the resale price is out of reach, then the buyer has no choice but to go to a common residential development beside them. So these are the only 21 developments which are directly linked to the MRT. Okay, so of course, in today's world, we are not looking to actually pay to own a property anymore. Neither are we looking to own a property for free. We want to earn money while owning the property. How to do that? Firstly, you need to invest wisely. Okay, when you look at development, it's not just about how nice the interior design of the show flat. Neither is it how beautiful or expensive the showroom is done up. Because usually when this thing is, the showroom is very expensive, somebody have to pay for the cost, and it's always a consumer, right? I think you agree with this thing. Next thing, invest wisely. Understanding the master plan, you will know the transformation and you will realize the potential. So what is the transformation? This is the thing. When we invest in developments, we always look at what the URA is planning to do. Just like you watch Korean dramas or this, you also know. Okay? Even you see the plans of what happened in the past. You will see Bishan, Bidadari, Punggol, Jurong, and even Geylang. Right? You will see that all these developments, for example, Bishan and Bidadari, they were previously cemeteries. But you look at today, the prices, even in HDB, they are one of the highest HDB transacted prices in Singapore, right? And you look at what they are today. This is why the URA, when they transform in a certain area, you have to go in early. The earlier you go in, the more you make money. Later from future slides, I will show you an estimate on how the growth is actually working. So what is Piccadilly? What is our transformation here? So you take a look, District 8. Wow, looking at this, you will understand. District 8 is actually surrounded by 4 major transformations. Number 1, Novena, which is into part of District 8. Kallang Industry, what is this? Okay, also part of District 8. Then Bugis transformation, this one is a very well-known story. It's stretching all the way into the Rochor area, which is part of District 8. And then the final one will be Dhoby Ghaut. Of course, not just these 4 major transformations by URA, the HDB are also coming in. You have heard of the premium housing, right? So this is actually the transformation surrounding our location where we are over here. So, Novena transformation, what is it? You will see, this is the cluster concept. You will see the 100 square meters over here. What does it tell you? Okay, this is actually the previous CDC. But of course, they say farewell, goodbye, CDC. But what is it going to be in future? It's all going to be future residential lands with what? 100 square meters control. And if you see from the previous slide itself, you will realize that we are just over here. So with this future government lands over there, within walking distance, imagine how much will it impact. And what is this yellow area over here? This yellow area over here is the famous Health City Novena. And you note that it's so close to us, right? But what is the nearest to us? It's all the research centers and especially the universities, right? So besides this, you also note the Kallang Industry. What is Kallang Industry? The government already mentioned this is going to be where architects, all these are going to be coming in because this is a new vibrant economy, bringing you work near to home. So of course, where we are, you can see over here only. Oh, sorry, I'm blocking. Yeah. So it's over here only, and this is where the industry is being planned out for. So what are the industries over here? Okay, you have seen a few of these. Okay, so these are the ones we are talking with new sculptors, architects, creative, bloggers, and everything. It's a new kind of industry over in Singapore. And this will also cater to you, the higher number of tenants, right? And if you are very nearby. And of course, Bugis transformation. This one, everybody, well-known story. Everybody knows about it. You will know that it's a very massive one. So you see the first mover, doer. After that, you see South Beach came out, the M came out, the Midtown Bay came out, Midtown Modern came out. Today, Bugis transformation is almost complete, right? And the prices have soared from the 1,000 plus per square foot to today, the highest transacted about 3,008 per square foot. So this is how a transformation in the area actually affects your potential growth, right? So of course, this is actually due to the Ophir Rochor corridor, so in the Bugis transformation. And then of course, the last one will be the Dhoby Ghaut transformation. If you take a look at Dhoby Ghaut transformation, it's actually talking about the Istana Park area, what they're going to transfer. Okay, what they're going to transform is actually mainly all the park areas. So you can see A, B, C, D. Because why? The central area to have a park is pretty rare. So they want this kind of leaf work greens, especially this pandemic. Everybody seems to turn into very healthy suddenly, cycling on this, right? So you realize the government is actually planning a park in the central area. And of course, where we are, it's just further up only. So these are all the plans by URA. So you've seen this in URA website, from the Pearl Hill City Park transformation, which is one of the more massive locations they're going to transform, to all the way up to the Singapore River where they're going to transform, all the way to Fort Canning Park, then to Dhoby Ghaut, where we are at Piccadilly Grand over here. Then the next stop will be Somerset, which all the new mixed developments are going to come up at new prices, okay, because the land are not released yet. Then Orchard Road, and then Tanglin. So you know, outskirts of Singapore's OCR, like example, Lantor is already bid at 1,002 plus. So imagine what will happen to land prices in this central area. So Piccadilly Grand is bound to benefit from this URA transformation. Because why? We are part of the URA plans. Then of course, HDB knows this. HDB is not going to lose out. They are coming into this area. So you see, where our location are, remember District 12? We are talking about Boon King area. You look at their HDB prices, all above $1 million, 1.268 million transacted. These are all the buyers. You see, every single transaction is about $1 million. When you come to McNair area, it's almost close to $1 million. So imagine you are an owner, owning one of the HDB over here. Congratulations to you. You are the next millionaire. Because why? Your house today, very valuable. Right? So of course, the premium housing, what is it? Okay, you already heard from HDB. 960 roadshow BPOs are going to be launched. And all these developments are 10 years MOP, excluding the 5 years for construction. And when you sell, there's a 6% clawback on your subsidy. All right? So these are the transactions. And you look at what are the asking price of all these BPO. You see, they only have 3 and 4 bedrooms, but the 4 bedrooms are costing about 582,000. Wow. Premium. So if HDB is going to charge you for this kind of location and this kind of pricing, it only tells you one thing: this location sure make money. So HDB, you see the HDB resale is really almost $1 million and above, right? So imagine if you are private development in that location, what is your potential? So of course, this is the HDBs, okay? And then you see that for all these BTOs, it's 9 applicants vying for each 4 rooms. Wow, high take-up rate, high demand, okay, just to be in the location. So this is their roadshow. Now we talk about Kallang Whampoa. So this, not only roadshow is having the premium HDB, Kallang Whampoa is also another area. So you realize it's all in our area. So you realize the transformation. This is what is going to happen. Even the HDB are in this area to give you the potential, right? So what are the future plans for our District 8? First mover advantage is what I'm going to highlight to you. Look at our master plan. Just looking at the master plan itself, you realize one thing. If you see based on color, this pink color represents mixed development land. This is where our Piccadilly Grand is located. But you look at all these other lands, all this yellow or orange color, or we call it beige color land, these are all pure residential lands. So you can see there's many future residential lands coming up, but not even released in the market yet. That means you are the first mover advantage. And if you take a look at this land itself, we are the one with the direct connection to the MRT. The rest of these future lands have to pass by our site in future just to reach to the MRT. So imagine how valuable. Just looking at this master plan itself will tell you that you still make money. Of course, if you're asking me, hey, what is these two lands over here? This is what I showed earlier. These are the premium HDB, the Rochor one, which is the 3 and 4 room, River Peaks 1 and 2. And you see, this mixed development land is taken away by HDB. So which means it left us with the only other big mixed development land. You are the difference. So big land, 94,000 square feet, the only mega mixed development land, the only residence directly linked to the MRT, the only residence to have a retail at your doorstep, and also directly linked to a mega shopping mall. All right, so this is how the master plan looks like. We put it in satellite view for you to understand better. Okay, but besides just the master plan, you will start to understand this thing. Wow, the North-South Expressway. What do you see from this North-South Expressway? You realize that this North-South Expressway has an exit opening up where we are, just near to where we are. And this is the only expressway which has cycling tracks along the entire expressway. So which means you can travel all the way to Admiralty just by cycling. If you feel that, oh, petrol too expensive to cycle all the way there, right? So it makes you convenience. If, for example, I need to travel all the way to the north, you no longer need to go through the normal other expressway, which is always traffic jam. You have this new expressway, which is upcoming. This is the North-South Expressway. Exit strategy, this is the most important. What do you mean? So just now I mentioned, okay, upcoming slides is going to show you why, right? So you will see that these are all the lands which has been bidded. Okay, these are the land price. So you see, we were actually bidded in April 2021. But you see, after we have bidded, all the future dates, they are much higher in land price. What does it tell you? We, the only mixed development in this RCR, that means we are very valuable. How valuable it is? I just want to show you that the later lands are being bidded, the cost is even higher. I just take you the example of One North Eden. You see, One North Eden was bidded at what price last time? 1,000 per square foot. Today, the next two other lands which was bidded is Slim Barrack, and you take a look at the prices. Wow, just in 2 years, there's a $200 per square foot difference in the land cost itself, right? $200 difference in land cost. This is how it's an example. Okay, so which means just now you saw our master plan, right? We are the first mover. So imagine the next plot, which is just a pure residential, don't have the MRT, but because of the location, it's most probably going to be much higher. And what does it tell you? If the land cost is higher, plus the construction cost, that means the future selling cost is going to be higher. That means the future consumers are going to buy at higher pricing. That means if you own a unit in Piccadilly Grand, your valuation is definitely going up. Okay, it's a new level. So how much will it go up? Estimated. I just bring you to another development called High Park Residences. If you see the master plan itself, High Park, you see, wow, a lot of residential lands, right? High Park itself will tell you one thing. High Park came up first mover. Followed by the second development is called Park Botania. If we look at the transaction, you see, because High Park came up first, the land cost is lower, the selling price becomes lower. And Park Botania, because of the higher land cost, the selling price is higher. End up, you see, High Park now all make super high profit, first mover advantage profit. 400 to 500 over 1,000 profit, no. This is transacted reality. This is the caveat, right? So if you see other land costs, even other parts of Singapore, you just need to see. In terms of year 2012, Urban Vista, land cost was only 676. In 2016, Grandeur Park, in the area, the land cost went up by almost $100 per square foot. In 2020, wow, Tanah Merah, you see the land cost went up by almost $150 to $180 per square foot. So you see, this is what we tell you, but how the government release land is always one after the other, and then there's a separation of dates. And every single land is always higher and higher and higher. So if you see that we Piccadilly Grand is about 1129 per square foot, you can imagine the future residential lands which are inferior to us are going to be much more expensive than our current land. So this master plan will tell you, we are actually surrounded by 7 QRS land, you know. Oh. So imagine, what is the future capital appreciation of Piccadilly Grand? Being the only mixed development land, being the only one directly connected to the MRT and a mega shopping center of City Square, right? So imagine all these lands. If everyone is going to be about 12 to 22% increase, right? Every single land, your valuation is massive. What kind of profits can you make from Piccadilly Grand? I can tell you, you can never ever imagine how much you can make. Okay? The sky is the limit. So of course, first mover advantage, 7 residential plots in the pipeline, expected higher land bid for all these lands, and then you are going to enjoy a super profitable transaction. Okay, so this is a major exit strategy for Piccadilly Grand. Of course, you need to understand also the difference. Why be unique? Okay? We already know of the master plan, we already know how the market is moving, transaction values, okay, all the data, okay, our potential is massive. So now, what is this development about? Piccadilly Grand is a very unique development. Imagine coming home to this every day. Isn't it nice? Right? It's like botanical gardens within your development itself. Imagine relaxing by the pool after a hard day's work. How nice it is. And this is the development. Only 3 towers. And of course, with retail at your doorstep. That means I can actually, before I start work, I go downstairs, I buy my breakfast, before I take the public transport to go to work. Okay, then I come home, I can go to City Square Mall, buy my dinner, have my dinner. Before I cross sheltered, even though it's raining, okay, now raining season, I can go home easily. Alright? So we are directly linked. Okay, we have F&B and retail, and even the childcare for new families. Okay, the views and orientation is beautiful. We even have these curated lifestyle amenities, luxury living, and large greenery. What is that? So this is the development details. You will note that this location, why is the name called Piccadilly Grand? This area used to be where all the British, okay, in the British era, all these British always gather for horse racing. Okay, it's also one of the pioneer sites. Our government, PAP, campaign for independence. Right? So if you Google, you will note of how popular this area is. Okay, the rich heritage. So you know the land size is about 94,000. You know that it's 23 stories. There's only 3 blocks. Block 1, Block 3, Block 5. Northumberland Road. It's a specially created road just for this development. And there's only 407 units. Of course, we got 14 retail and F&B with 1 childcare, about 500 square meters, almost. Okay, total 20,000 square feet of retail space. Right? Then, the expected TOP will be looking about 2026. So what is the retail going to be called? The retail is going to be called Piccadilly Galleria. Right? Piccadilly Galleria has this childcare. You can see daily conveniences, maybe like supermarket is going to happen over there. Retail is going to be F&B in this area. Right? So it's directly linked to the MRT, Farrer Park MRT, 2 stops to Adobe God interchange. Later I'll explain in more details over this. Okay, the shops, the F&B, the childcare, 3 levels of activities from 5 curated lifestyle zones with 3 clubhouses. How many developments have 3 clubhouses? And of course, we have seen earlier, walking distance to a wide range of amenities and even a short drive to every part of Singapore, like Bugis, Marina Bay, Orchard Road, CBD. Seamless connectivity is what we are highlighting over here. Right? Very convenient. Okay, we even have a Chinese created idiom for any of the Chinese customers who may not understand English that well. So you can get this from our Huttons associates. So this is a live view. Okay, this view was taken on the 23rd floor. So imagine, just now you've seen how close we are, right? So now these are all from the actual side. You look out. Wow, you can even see where Swiss Hotel. You can see South Beach. You think, wow, even sea view also can be seen. So it's a very beautiful view you are getting from Piccadilly Grand. And why? Because in front of you, these are all mostly conservation houses, which means they are permanently going to be low density. It will not go higher. So MRT is not just 2 stops to Dhoby Ghaut. Actually, you realize that within 1 to maybe maximum 4, you hit to many other interchanges which lead you to every part of Singapore. Right? And of course, City Square Mall. Wow. These are only some of what I placed over here. Okay? Imagine you got Decathlon, you got Daiso, you got Uniqlo, you got Don Don Donki, you got Golden Village Cinema, you got Hai Di Lao, a very popular place. Okay, there's Starbucks, there's also Coffee Bean, and even Toys R Us for young families. So imagine this is really a mega shopping mall because it has everything inside there. And of course, City Square Mall is by CDL. So imagine CDL having such a mega tenants in the mall. There's also a very high demand for their retail space. And I believe that since our retail space is going to be managed by CDL also, if any of this high demand, there's not enough space within City Square to offer, they'll most probably put it at Piccadilly Galleria. Why? Since it's all connected by the same underground MRT, right? So it's actually what we call by 包头包尾, settling the head and the tail. So direct link to the MRT and the retail. So imagine, this is the MRT right within the development. You take a lift down, this is the MRT station. And then it's surrounded by all the retail F&Bs and the shops. All right. So here you will see the childcare, okay, and how the car parks are located. And you will see where are all the F&B shops being located and where is the MRT located. It's right in the center of them all. And these are all the retail to the childcare. And you see all the blue color dots. They are all your residential exits of different towers. And the red color one is the main clubhouse area. Later I will show you. So view and orientation. Just to let you know, the views over here are specially created north-south orientation. What is north-south? So from this satellite view itself, you realize there's so much conservation over here. So these are all the low density, right? And therefore, you are able to get these kind of views. So if you're looking north, you're actually mainly having this unblocked view all the way to where? Toa Payoh. Wow. How many developments have such beautiful unblocked view on the 23rd story? And then the south view, you will see all the way to South Beach, Bugis area, right? So this is the kind of views you're getting from Piccadilly Grand. And if you go for the south direction, wow, again. So of course, this direction here, these are all the future GLS lands, right? So we do not know when are they going to be released for bidding, but we expect that these are the ones which are going to game change your potential valuation. So of course, you will note that all of them are specially created in a north-south orientation. Very nice staggered block creation, and every single block, when you will be facing into facilities, right? You see almost every stack, except for these 3 stacks here. All the other stacks will always look into the facility. And the block and the distance apart is about 20 to 26 meters apart. Right? Very beautiful landscaping created. So this is how the landscape is going to be like. Okay. So this is, as I mentioned, this is where the main area, because this is the botanic area of the development. So I was telling you, imagine your friends, you yourself coming home to such a beautiful waterfall feature. It's very similar to the Gardens by the Bay concept, right? And then of course the swimming pool area. So most of the units actually gets that also. And then the 3 clubhouse. So these are the 3 major clubhouse. So the first one is the entrance clubhouse area. Then followed by the second one, which has this co-work dining room area. That's what we call by the tranquility zone. And then the final one will be the social clubhouse. That's where you get the gym, the function rooms, the swimming pool, the children, the family pool area. So you see, it's very beautifully done through the artist impressions seated over here. Right? So imagine coming home to these kind of facilities. Not many developments, especially a mixed development, has such facility. It's really in a very different lifestyle, in a very different class of its own. Okay, so this is how the dining room will look like. Very beautiful dining room. You can book this, get your chef in, do your entertainment. Don't even need to dirty up your house. So imagine living there. And today in the pandemic, you know, there's a lot of working from home, right? So we even have this co-work lounge area created for you to book this place to actually work from home. So these are all very thoughtful facilities created. And then this is the arrival clubhouse. So this is when you come home. Okay, the main clubhouse entrance is already so massively beautiful. The internal of it is also very beautiful. And there'll be a guardhouse over here so that any of your guests, when they come in, they will still be screened by this security guard. So of course, this particular development also has green features. The standard CDL showcase. So it's a smart home system, okay, green lifestyle and a smart home system created for every single resident in this development of Piccadilly Grand. And the project interior design, wow, it's beautiful. They have two themes, be beautiful, be bold. What do you mean by these two particular themes? The kitchen, just take a look at the concept. Very nice branded kitchen by Hans Grohe and Frankel. You will start to see the appliances by Bosch, okay, German Bosch. And then in the kitchen design, for the 1 to 3 bedroom unit, you have a very nice light silver theme for the cabinets. And then for the 4 and 5 bedroom units, they have a much darker silver theme cabinets. Right? The bathroom, okay, for the 1 to 3 bedrooms, you will have a very nice silver Hans Grohe and Villeroy and Bosch sanitary fittings. Okay, for the 4 and 5 bedrooms, is the darker color finishes. And then you look at the bathroom, 2 different color theme. The 1 and 3 bedrooms are lighter imported tiles, whereas the 4 and 5 bedrooms are the darker tile. Right? So, what do you know by be beautiful, be bold? Even in the common bathroom designs, okay, they are very beautiful in terms of the color theme. If you see the show flat, okay, when you have the chance, you realize that it's actually very unique. Okay, so far, it's something what I don't really normally see from other developments. Okay, wardrobe system. Okay, wardrobe system is also very crucial because why? Everybody puts their clothes inside there. So the wardrobe system here has 2 different types. The 1 to 3 bedrooms are more of the woody finish, whereas for the 4 and 5 bedrooms are the silver finish, right? And then for the master wardrobe, you even have this 2-door panel or mirror compartment. We call this a side dresser. So this side dresser is actually created, okay, for every single master bedroom wardrobe, right? And this is how the common wardrobe will look like. So when we see the finishes, you realize that, hey, actually this developer gives you very good finishes. What about the floor plans, right? This is important because, hey, finishes is something which I can actually get my contractor to do up in future. But floor plans is something which I cannot change. And that is the most important. What Piccadilly Grand offers is something I myself, after 19 years of marketing developments, I realized that this particular layout is fantastic. What it is. Just taking a look at the show flat itself, these are the things which I want to highlight to you. Imagine you have a living and dining space of 28.3 square meters. How big is that? The width is about 2.8 meters. Most common developments today is only about 2.6. Imagine this is 2.8 meters width, of the living dining. It's very spacious. And you see, this is what we call by dumbbell concept, just for a 2+ study. And not just the master bedroom has an attached bathroom. You see, the common room also has an attached bathroom. This is what we call by Jack and Jill toilet. How often a common room has its own bathroom too? So this kind of layout is fantastic. And you take a look at the entrance. Wow, the entrance is so spacious. Most important is the kitchen. You see, it's a U-shaped kitchen. That means if I'm going to be cooking, I like to cook. Today, most developments is always kitchen by the wall, right? You realize this one, you can literally enclose it yourself. So these are very thoughtful. That's why ADDP, the architect, is very important because they create something which they know that what people demand in the market today, Piccadilly Grand will offer for you. So you have a very beautiful entrance area which is super wide, okay, with this study over here, and you have a very spacious living dining area with a very spacious width. Okay? Even the room size is not small. The room size is pretty big, 8.7 square meters. Today, common is only about 7 to 8 square meters. This is 8.7 square meters. And the size is 710 square feet. So this is our show flat, which you will see on preview day. And then we have another show flat, which is a 4-bedroom dual key. I like this one a lot. Why? You take a look at this way, huh? From this area here, my finger, all the way down here, you see 8.4 meters of width, of your living space, and then 3.2 meters, and 3.2 meters over here. So 3.2 by 8.45. So imagine this whole area here, wow, very big. 33.7 square meters of living dining space. That means it's a very huge entertainment area because this is what you bring your guests over in your house, you'll be using this space the most. And then all the rooms are about 8.8 square meters. The master bedroom is about 18.8 square meters. A very nice 3-meter width of master bedroom. Okay. Why I highlight about this 3.2? Because standard development today is only a 3 meters wall to wall. Right? This is 3.2. And 3.2 is pretty rare. Not many developments actually offer. And then you have a nice dual key. And you realize this dual key, it's not like the previous years those kind of dual key. This dual key is just like a master bedroom size. It's not too big. It doesn't occupy a lot of space. But it's very good for families who want the parents to stay with them, but to be near, but not too near, right? But not too near. So you realize that the entrance area is only a small little 5 square meters space. So this is where you actually can put all your cabinets inside. So when we take a look at this chart itself, you realize one thing. Okay, this diagrammatic chart, you realize that actually 4 different types of units are pretty rare. We have 1 bedrooms to 5 bedrooms. But if you take a look at 1 bedrooms, there's only 2 particular stacks. Stack 14 and stack 17. Where are they located? I will show you later. And you talk about the 1 plus study, there's also 2 stacks, which is stack 13 and stack 20. And if you talk about 2 bedrooms, again another 2 stacks. Which stacks are there? It's 6 and 7. Then if you talk about the 2 plus study, you have 4 particular stacks. You have stack 3, you have stack 10, you have stack 16, and stack 19. Okay, then the rest will be the 3 bedrooms and above. But then again, if you talk about the 3 bedrooms, we have 2 different sizes. Okay, but if you talk about the 1,000 square feet size, we have 4 particular stacks. But if you talk about the compact 3 bedroom, the 883 square feet, 1 particular stack. This is a very popular stack. Then of course, for the 4 bedrooms and the 4 bedroom dual key, we have dual key of 2 stacks. Okay, for the 4 bedrooms, we have only 1 particular stack, and then the rest will be the 5 bedrooms and the 5 bedroom privately. So what is the facing? So this is the facing. So here you will see, okay, if you're talking about 1 bedroom, 2 different facing. We offer one towards the botanic area. The other one is unblocked view all the way to the Bugis area. Right? And talk about the 1 plus study. You have stack 20, okay, and you have stack 13. So one is into the botanic area, one is into the main pool area. How often you find a development when you buy the smaller unit, you still have a very beautiful facility view? Piccadilly Grand offers this thing. Even the outer facing is a beautiful unblocked view. So it's pretty rare, okay? You yourself should understand this thing. Then you come to 2 bedrooms. You tell me how many developments also have 2 bedrooms facing directly into the main pool area? Usually all the bigger units, right? But here we have 2 bedrooms facing into the main pool area. And the other one is facing into the family pool area. So, wow, again, beautiful layout. And then, of course, besides facing the family pool area, higher floors and unblocked view all the way to Toa Payoh. So, it's actually a nice, beautiful view because you like it to Macritchie side, right? And then, you talk about the 2 bedroom dual key. Okay, our show flat, we have 2 different types, the 710 with stack 3 and stack 10. But we also have another 2 stacks, which is 19 and 16. Then again, I want to highlight about 19 and 16. These are 2 plus study, which are corner units. Again, you ask yourself, how many corner units in other developments in Singapore are 2 plus study? Majority of corner units are always 3 bedroom and above. But this development offers a 2 plus study and as a corner unit. And people sometimes they like corner units. Why? Because the kitchen area has windows. There's more circulation. Okay, so that is the reason why they like it. Right? So Piccadilly Grand has these beautiful units selected at beautiful locations. So of course here is a breakdown of all the different unit types and different unit sizes. So you can ask from your Huttons associate for this plan to understand better. Right? And then you look at the 2 plus study. You see, this is stack 10, this is the show flat one, and then the other one is stack 3 over here. 1 main pool, 1 into the botanic area. Then of course these are the 2 corner 2 plus studies which I was talking about. Okay, there is kitchen window. Later you will see from the floor plan, you understand. Okay, of course the 1 bedroom you have 2 different facings to choose from, either 14 or 17. So either you fill into the facility or you have unblocked view to Bugis. Then you have another one which is the 1 plus study, again 2 different particular stacks, right? And then you will see the 3 bedrooms, they are all corner units, right? Of course, for those of you who are looking at the 5-bedroom units, we have one over here, and then the other one is a private lift 5-bedroom. Very rare. You see the floor plan. So these are the floor plans. So you take a look at the 1-bedroom. What is so nice about this 1-bedroom? Why did we showcase the PS unit? Because when you see from the model in the show flat, you realize that those units with PS, in front of most other development PS, and you may have pedestrian walkways, right, where you see your other residents walking in front of you. These units are in the development, when they have a PS, it opens to a place where it's all gardens. So there's nobody walking in the area, right? So you have your full privacy, even though you're actually having the lowest floor unit. So it's a very nice functional layout, very spacious, right? And you take a look at the design of it, okay? The 1-bedroom unit, the master bedroom has this toilet over here, right? And you look at this living and dining space, it's actually very spacious over here. When you look at the 1+ study, the only difference is that from this area here, it creates another study space, right? So which means the entrance is pretty huge. And the kitchen area, it becomes slightly longer, more countertop. Why? Because the washer cum dryer has been shifted up to this area. So you see the washer dryer is over here, now it shifts to over here, right? So you will see it has a longer countertop area. So this is the 1+ study and 1-bedroom. So actually 1+ study and the 1-bedroom difference is not much, okay? The size-wise is 484 versus 517. So if you cannot go for a 1-bedroom, you may even consider to go for a 1+ study. Then you take a look at this 2-bedroom. What I want to highlight is that 2 bedrooms has no balcony. All the 2 bedrooms are full internal spacious layout, dumbbell layout, right? So if you're talking about the size of 646 square feet, it's all internal space. Very nice space. Okay, of course, people will ask me, hey, what is RC latch? RC latch is actually part of the facade. It's not in your floor size of 464. But the aircon latch is inside your floor space, okay? But RC latch is not, okay? So you realize that, again, same thing, both rooms have their own attached bathroom. This is the special unique feature of Piccadilly Grand. And you take a look at the kitchen. You want to enclose, you also can enclose. So how many 2 bedrooms in the market has such beautiful kitchen area? Yeah? And such a beautiful spacious layout, right? This is the 2+ study. Okay, you're seeing the 2+ study in a show flat. This is the corner unit one. So the corner unit one, the size is 678 square feet, and the kitchen has a window. You take a look at the kitchen, it has a window over here. And then again, you can enclose up this kitchen area. Your living dining space is also that huge, right? And you see, you even have a little study area over here, right? And all the rooms, instead of a dumbbell concept, is all tucked away in one corner. So it's very nicely created, right? It's a beautiful layout by ADDP. Right, these are corner units. And then 3 bedrooms, we have the compact one, which is 883 square feet. You realize again, look at the living dining space, very spacious, very wide. Yeah, the kitchen also, but it's a semi-open concept kitchen, which means you can enclose it yourself if you want to, right? Then of course, you will see the living space followed by a very short passageway into the rooms, right? So it's a very nice layout over here. Followed by the 3-bedroom flexi. What I like about this 3-bedroom flexi is that you even have a dry kitchen area. The entrance area, you realize, it doesn't open directly into the living dining space. It has a little foyer space. So it provides a little bit more privacy. Okay, then it comes into the kitchen, dry kitchen area, before you hit into the wet kitchen space. And then in the wet kitchen, you have this flexi room, which can be a laundry room or even a mixed room, storeroom, and it connects all the way to the corridor space area. So it can be done as maybe even your co-work space within your house. There you go. The other 2 common rooms, followed by a huge master bedroom with a little balcony over here. This balcony you will see from the 4-bedroom dual key show flat. Alright. Then of course you have the 4-bedroom flexi. So you see 4-bedroom flexi, you have a very nice, wow, this is the biggest space I've seen. Right? It's the only layout with a landscape living dining. The rest of them you will see is all portrait living dining, right? So this is the only one with the landscape living dining. And this is the one which has rooms. Every single room, you realize. Okay, maybe I stand inside here, it doesn't block your view. You will see that every single room has its own attached bathroom. So the moment you go to the 4 bedrooms, every room has its own attached bath already. Of course, these 2 rooms share the same bathroom, but they have a door connected. This bedroom 4 has its own bathroom, Jack and Jill, open to this corridor area, and the master bedroom has its own bath. So every single room has its own toilet. And there's a flexi room over here, which again from the kitchen opens up into the corridor space. So it's a very functional, even can be a mixed room over here, right? So this is the 4-bedroom flexi. And then you come to the 5 bedrooms, you will see the 5 bedrooms, wow, even bigger. You have a very nice junior master, tucked away one corner. So for families who, okay, there was a joke when we were talking about it. It said, today in this pandemic, if you need to self-isolate, all these rooms have its own toilet. So every single one, you don't have to worry infecting of the rest of the residents in the house, right? So it's a very nice layout. Again, wet and dry kitchen. Okay, every single room, again, with their own attached bathroom, right? So these are all very carefully thought of layouts. Same thing for the 5-bedroom private lift. So the only difference between the 5-bedroom private lift and the 5 bedrooms is that it has this additional private lift with its own lobby area. But this area of the living dining space is super huge. Okay, we are still waiting for the dimension of it, but I can assure you this dimension is definitely going to be wonderful. Why? Because the size is almost 1,700 square feet. Very spacious layout. Right? So these are all the units which on layout for Piccadilly Grand, okay, on showcase. So I was talking about beautiful views, right? You realize that the architect is the blocks are staggered, but you realize, okay, behind, of course, we do know are the high 30 stories HDB. But you note that in the center, separating the HDB and our development is the multi-story car park, which is only 5 stories high. But you realize the way the architect has done, every single facing does not look into the HDB. They have unblock view up or down, north-south. This is a very carefully thought of and planned layout. Okay? Because the architect knows that nobody likes to be looking into another development. Or most importantly, they want their own privacy. They do not want another development to be looking into you. So you realize that they did it very beautifully up and down this way. Right? So both directions or which direction you're going for is still either facility or unblocked view. Right? So of course we have seen the transformation, the data, the product, the development itself. What are the comparable analysis? You have seen an exit strategy. So now we show you in values. What is the value? You realize that in dwelling areas, okay, the rest of Singapore compared to where we are, okay, where we are over here, you realize there's only 80 condos and apartments. It's one of the lowest in the entire Singapore. Okay, why? The other areas, the key areas in Singapore, a lot of them are very massive. That means there's a lot of developments there. And there's a lot of developments, you only tell you one thing. There's a lot of competition in future for rental or resale. All right. So I just want to show you on this side, based on new launches in this February alone, right? If you compare, you look at District 8, currently there's only 2 developments over there, right? One of them just TOP, the other one is going to TOP pretty soon. But there's only 2, and we are the 3rd development over there. When you see this, what does it tell you? That means in the next 4 years, or maybe 5 years, next 4 or 5 years, when we TOP, Piccadilly Grand TOP, we are the only development in the area of District 8 with no other new development going to be ready. So which means you command the full rental and resale because there's no other development for those tenants to choose from. You're the only new one over there. But you compare to, for example, other districts like District 15, there's almost 17 developments which are going to TOP about the same timing, which means there'll be a rental price war in future. Because why? Almost every single development is walking distance to each other. There's going to be a lot of other choices. You look at District 10, wow, 27 developments. So this is actually data to show you that if you want to have limited supply to have maximum conversion in terms of rental and capital appreciation, you need to have minimal competition. Because why? Your demand is controlled by you. So this is our unofficial price guide. You'll be wondering, hey, what price are we Piccadilly Grand going to come up at? So let me set out the picture now. You realize that our size of a 1 bedroom is about 484 square feet. We do expect our range to be about 1.0 plus million onwards. Okay, and if you know in the market now, it's pretty rare to get a 1.0 plus 1 bedroom. Okay, most of them are already about 1.2, 1.3 million and above. So for Piccadilly Grand, based on a central area, city fringe, and a development with no competition, this kind of entry level pricing is very attractive. Same thing for the 1 plus study, which is about 517 square feet, except for one unit, which is 484, which is the ground floor unit. Okay, you realize that it's about 1.1 million plus only, which is very low entry level. Even if we will estimate up to the higher floors, it will still be only 1.2 plus, which is lower than most other central area developments, which are marketing today. Right? Even you talk about the 2 bedrooms, no balcony. Okay, another development with no 2 bedroom, no balcony, nearby to us is actually Midtown Modern. They were one of the most well snapped up units, and that was the highest transacted price of about 3,008 per square foot. So imagine now you are another development without any balcony for 2 bedrooms, 646, and you're only buying about how much? Oh, estimated about 1.3, 1.4 million. I believe this is a steal. Okay, it's really literally a steal, because even if I will estimate the highest, it's only about 1.5, 1.6 million. This is something which is extremely affordable. Same thing for the 1 plus study. See, even you go up, it's only maybe maximum 1.6, but we should expect it to be starting about 1.4 plus million. Okay, if you're talking about 3 bedrooms, it's about 1.721 million onwards, and we are estimating maybe about 1,009 per square foot. This 883 we estimate may even go up to even 2,000 plus per square foot. Then for the rest of the units, I believe it should be about 1,009 plus range. So you will find that, wow, if you're buying a 3 bedroom flexi, a bigger 3 bedroom, about 1,000 plus square feet, it only starts about 2 million. Then today, most of the other areas are looking about 2.3, 2.4 million, right? So you can see, this is a very attractive pricing. Same thing for the 4 bedroom flexi, 4 bedroom dual key, okay? Very nice entry level pricing. And then you come to 5 bedroom, oh, only $3 million for 5 bedrooms, which is very rare. Huh? So I just want to bring you your attention to what other developments in the vicinity are calling today, right? We talk a lot about all these developments. You realize that in all these other developments, I highlight the sizes, okay, are smaller than us or maybe similar, but the entry level, as I mentioned, 1 bedroom, they're all about 1.3, 1.2 plus million onwards, right? So if you're going to start about 1.0 plus million for 1 bedroom, you're way lower than all these other developments, okay? Similar location areas, right? Then 2 bedrooms, what's our size? Without the balcony is 464, right? Okay, if it's 2 plus study, about 710. You realize that our size is pretty huge, and our starting price is about 1.3 plus 1.4 million. You look at all the other prices, they're all in the well to 1.7, 1.8 million range already. So even we come to the highest, we was talking about 1.6 million, these are still way higher, and there are a lot of them are low floors also, right? And we talk about the 3 bedrooms, okay? Look at their quantum, it's all 3 million or 2.4 million onwards, right? I was mentioning we are only talking about 1.7 plus 1. Or 2.0 plus, right? So this is very attractive pricing. Even come to the 4 bedrooms, ours is about 2.6 plus, they are already all hitting the 3 to 4 million range. But then again, if you think that all these developments are expensive, you realize that, wow, the availability of stock is also very minimal now. Most of all these developments, even though at their pricing, they are selling out fast. Okay, that means there's a lot of demand, even at this kind of quantum. So now we look at this. Florence Residences, all this. Okay? You will see Florence and Normanton Park. These 2 developments are the massive ones, but they are where? Florence is our car. Okay? Normanton Park is in its own metropolis of its own. You realize that they are the only other lower price developments in Singapore today. The rest of the other developments are way higher in pricing. So then again, let's compare. We start at 1.0 plus million, even Normanton Park today starts from 1.1 million onwards. Okay, so which means only Florence in Hong Kong actually is able to offer lower quantum of a 1 bedroom compared to us. Same size. Right? When you talk about 2 bedrooms, our size is bigger than them. Okay, and their quantum we start with 1.3, 1.4 million. You look at them, they're all way higher as compared to us also. Right? So same thing for the 3 bedrooms, all this. So all this you can get from your agents. So you can, again, one thing you will realize that, wow, stock availability is very minimal. So imagine this kind of high quantum, wow, limited stocks available too. So that's why Piccadilly Grand is confirmed to be very attractive in pricing when we are launching. Okay. Next thing, rental estimate. If I buy for investment today, if Piccadilly Grand was a TOP today, what kind of rental can we fetch? But of course, remember, Piccadilly Grand will only TOP about 3 to 4 years later, right? So if we take a look at Uptown Farrer, the only other development which has just TOP, you see today, rental is very high, almost $6 per square foot. But what is the most important to bring your attention to is just looking at the unit type and what is the transacted range. So we know that for a 2 bedrooms, it's about 3,007 range. Okay, a 2 bedroom is about 3,007 range, a 3 bedroom is about 4,005 range. I just bring you to Sturdy. Sturdy is also another leasehold development over there. You realize that 1 bedroom is about 2,004, but you see the 2 bedrooms and the 3 bedrooms is about the same kind of range, even though their per square foot is lower, but it's still around this kind of range pricing of rental. Same thing even for the most popular development, City Square. You see, same kind of rental for 1 bedroom, even coming to the 2 bedrooms and 3 bedrooms are so about the same kind of rental range. So these are older developments, and remember, this is 13 years old development, still fetching this kind of rental. So when we TOP, you work backwards, you realize that actually our rental in future, the potential is very high. See? Even same thing for Kerrisdale. So I'll summarize, we estimate it's going to be $6 per square foot. 1 bedroom is going to be about 2,008 plus per square foot. 2 bedroom is estimated going to be 3,008 per square foot. 3 bedrooms about 5,000 plus, and 4 bedrooms about 7,000 plus. So this is how the market is estimated at today's market. 3 to 4 years down the road, we only can expect it to be higher. Because if you would add in, especially with the resale value of the compound annual growth rate, is expected to be very scary, right? How the market has moved from the previous data. So, summary of the development, I just want to bring you back to the seamless connectivity and the beautiful integrated lifestyle. We are not just, as I mentioned, near MRT. We are actually directly linked to MRT. We are directly linked to a major shopping mall, and we are linked within short walking distance to many other locations. And of course, the potential from the URA plans is very clear. The 4 major transformations, even HDB coming in is the 5th, tells you and speaks a lot of volume. Right? So of course, have you received this VIP pass from your agents yet? If you have not received it yet, please get from your agent. Okay? Because on the day of preview, we will need you to show this pass for the special entry. So of course, what is preview day? I need to bring you towards the show flat and the tentage flow so that you know on the day how and where am I going to, okay, which part to see, which part not to see. Let me show you. This is estimated going to be the entire show flat floor plate. When you come, okay, first off, there is no parking within the site, so valet will take over your car. If you do not want valet, you can park at the HDB just over the site where my finger is. All right, there's a huge HDB parking over there. Or you can actually drop off your car to the valet and then you alight yourself. Okay, you can come down to the registration area here. This is where our Huttons counter is. This whole area here is a sheltered entrance. Upon your appointment time, we will open the door for you to gain entry, and then you can proceed with your agent to the model area to see the beautiful development. Then after that, you can go straight over here to the different units which you are looking to purchase. So, example, if I'm going to buy 3 bedrooms and below, you can join the queue for the 2 plus study. If you're buying the 4 bedrooms and above, you can join the queue to the 4 bedroom and dual key. Then after that, you can actually proceed to see the fly-through, or you can move out over here into the tentage area where our Huttons holding area is located. Okay. What is important over here is that you only have less than 45 minutes within the entire show floor. And that is a maximum capacity. Okay. We do advise that, I know some of you may have children which you intend to bring down. Okay. Just a little warning is that it's going to be very crowded because now we are able to, due to after the opening of this pandemic, right? There's going to be a lot of people coming down. So I think due to health safety reasons, we will advise you, try not to bring your children. If you have to, you can actually put them at the Huttons holding area. We have somebody to help you look after your children, right? While you can actually have a peaceful time to view the show flat, right? So this is how and where you register. So remember, come to our Huttons counter over here to register your attendance. Submission documents. For those of you who are really ready, I want to book the unit, I know what the potential is so high, then what are the interest submission documents you need to submit? Okay, so of course we have this expression of interest form which you need to fill up, which is the day for the preview. We are tentatively looking at about 23rd April, okay, which is next weekend to start viewing. Okay, then of course the last day for your submission will be looking estimated about the 3rd of May, which is a Tuesday, right? Then of course the e-balloting, okay, because when you submit your expression of interest, you'll be balloting for a queue number on the booking date, what time I come in to book the unit. So the expected e-balloting will be about the 5th of April. Then 5th of May is a Thursday. It will be done via Zoom. Then of course the priority will be the agent, the VVIPs, the multiple purchase will be most probably on the Friday, which is 6th of May. And the public sales launch for single units will be on the 7th of May. It's a Saturday. Okay, this will be done at our Huttons office. I will share with you another consumer Zoom regarding this booking process. And also, after that, I will be sharing with you the heat wave also, based on all the EOIs generated, so that you know what are your chances and where you stand. So of course, what are the forms you need to fill in? This will be the EOI forms you need to fill in, okay? Don't have to fill in your date of option on it, because this form doesn't mean that you have already booked a unit. It's just to express your interest. So we just need you to sign on the form and then fill in your name in this form itself. Then of course there's this letter of authorization, because you will be providing us with a check. Okay, this check not necessarily need a signature, but okay, it needs to be attention to the project account. I will show you how is it like. Okay, so you need to give us this check, right? So indicate that I'm interested in trying out for the preview day, the queue number. Alright, so this form you need to fill up also. Then your check submission. Remember, the check must either be your check, the buyer's check, or someone related with a proof of relationship. The example, husband doesn't have a check, my wife has. Yes, I can use my wife's check to submit together, but I need to add on with a marriage cert. Example, I do not have. Then my parents have a check, so I can use my parents' check. They have to provide me with the birth certificate to prove the relationship. This is actually the MAS AML law, so we have no choice but to follow the particular rule. Of course, you'll be asking me, hey, but you already said it doesn't constitute a sales yet, right? I'm only submitting my interest. So on the day I can do a TT. Unfortunately, due to the fairness for every single buyer, we only have to accept a check which is directly on the buyer's check or a related one. Okay. Then of course on the day you want to change to a direct fast transfer, you can still do it. You don't have to use the particular check. This check is just to enable us with full documentation to submit for the ballot queue number. Right? So this is a third-party check form. If it's not your check, you need to fill out this form. And then you need to provide us with your NRIC, okay? And a check to the project account, okay? You don't necessarily need to sign over here, and there's no amount for you to put over here. The reason why is because this check is just for our submission for, as I mentioned, the ballot queue, okay? So you need to have a project account. We will stamp this project account inside over there. You don't really need to sign. If you can sign, of course, it's good for us. So this is the project account which your check needs to be attention to. This is the developer's project account, which is actually controlled by MAS and Controller Housing. So in Singapore, all developments are the same. So of course, you will ask me, hey, if I do not have a check. Yes, if you do not have a check, you got no related personnel to use the check, then we will need you to actually get a cashier's order. We will advise you in closer stage what is the amount, okay, you need to get a cashier's order for to be able to enable you to have this ballot thing for the queue number. Right? So remember this thing, all EOIs is just to get a chance to see actual prices and choose your preferred unit on booking day. This submission of EOI doesn't mean that you have bought anything. It doesn't constitute to a sale as long as on preview day you decided not to proceed. Okay, So we need this summation so that at least give yourself an opportunity, okay, to see the actual prices, and then maybe you want to proceed and choose your preferred unit. Yeah, then you need to submit these forms. So thank you, everyone. I hope that tonight's comprehensive consumer webinar has been useful for you in your decision making of Piccadilly Grand. Okay, so I believe we have answered most of your questions. We thank you so much for your participation tonight. We thank you so much for your patience. Okay, so of course, I hope that I've done a lot which help you in your decision making. So thank you, everyone. Have a wonderful night. Goodbye.